In a world full of giant red sale signs, glittery advertisements, and contactless payment, it is no wonder we often overspend without realizing. Even the most budget-conscious people overspend unknowingly. The truth is, we all have bad money habits, and we don't count the minor purchases as we should. The problem is that overspending can cause us to feel a lack of control over our finances, which ultimately causes us stress. Not to worry. We've compiled a list to help you identify if you are spending too much money, along with some useful tips and tricks to cut back. Welcome to the Cash Cartel, a safe haven for future billionaires and innovative thinkers. If you often find yourself stressed about money, then it's important to identify what is triggering that stress. Is it simply from a lack of understanding where your money is going and what it is being spent on? Or maybe you just feel like there is never enough left at the end of each month. Or maybe you're stressed because you don't have an emergency fund. This all stems from poor management of your finances. The most important step to achieving financial freedom is to decrease your debt and increase your assets. By managing your finances better, you will be able to focus on growing your assets and decreasing your debt. You don't have a budget. Spending without a budget is the equivalent to flying blind. If you don't have a clear budget plan and stick to it, you will not know how much you are spending and whether or not your money could be better saved. A budget is great because it will prevent you from spending too much, as you'll have allocated amounts, and it will ensure you pay your bills first. A budget will also enable you to set long-term savings goals, like a retirement fund or your child's university education. There are great budget templates available online to help you get on your way. If you need more of a hands-on approach, then we recommend getting the help of a financial advisor. You swipe your credit card more than your debit card. Having more than 30% on your credit card is a big red flag. Your credit card limit should not be higher than your debit card limit. If this is the case, you will need to take a look at your spending habits to figure out why and what you need to cut back on in order to ensure you don't fall further into debt. Your credit card should be treated as an emergency-only option, as you are essentially taking out a loan every time you swipe it. If you find yourself tempted to use your credit card unnecessarily, then try leaving it at home when you know you won't require it. This will remove the temptation and help you avoid inner conflict. You frequently go on shopping sprees. We all love a shopping spree, and whilst it is important to treat yourself, it is not wise to do so often, as spending sprees can quickly spiral out of control. This is where a budget comes in handy. By allocating a set amount each month to treat yourself, you will ensure that you don't impulsively spend money that you don't have on something you don't need. If you are someone who struggles with impulse buying, then it is best to stay clear of malls or online clothing websites where you may be tempted to make a purchase. Arrange to meet friends or partake in activities outdoors instead. There are plenty of things one can do to unwind that doesn't involve retail therapy. Your friends may thank you for helping them save a few dollars too. You are constantly borrowing money from family or friends. Sometimes it's okay to loan money if you really need it. We've all found ourselves short on the rent once or twice, and that's where family or friends can really help, granted that you pay them back in a timely manner. Be wary of asking friends or family for money unless absolutely necessary, and try to only ever ask once. If you constantly find yourself asking for a loan, then you either need to take a look at your spending habits or find a higher paying job. Loans can cause extreme tension, even in the strongest of relationships. Avoid this sort of negative strain on your relationships by managing your money efficiently so that you can ensure you have enough money allocated to cover the necessities. You never stop to assess how much you are spending. It's very easy to tap our cards on minor purchases without stopping to calculate what the sum total of those purchases equate to. One of the biggest mistakes people make is not knowing where it goes. In some cases, people would rather not know, because then they have to confront their spending habits and make some uncomfortable changes. But it is only through those uncomfortable changes that you will be able to take control of your finances and secure your future. Next time you find yourself pulling out your card to tap for a minor purchase, pause and ask yourself if you really need it. You feel stressed about money. It is important to be aware of how money makes you feel. We may feel a rush of dopamine when we make an impulsive purchase, but this feeling is short-lived. If you neglect to follow your budget, you may end up causing yourself unnecessary stress. If you don't have control over your finances, you will feel anxious or stressed out. Stress is a major cause of decline in health, so it is important that you minimize stress wherever possible in your life. The best way to avoid this is to have control over the money in your account. This means that you will know exactly where your money is going, and you can sleep better at night knowing that your finances are on track. Accidental double purchases. Have you ever accidentally purchased an item that you already have because you didn't remember you had it? If this sounds like you, then you are purchasing items that are not meaningful. It is important to avoid hoarding and be conscious of what kinds of items you're purchasing. If it's something insignificant and unnecessary, put it back and save that money for something special at a later date. In a world that thrives on impulsive consumerism, be a more intentional and conscious shopper. Purchasing less, once-off, cheap products, you will ensure that less waste ends up in our landfills, ultimately decreasing the strain we are putting on our planet. It is never too late to look at your finances. Sometimes the reason people are overspending is quite obvious, and sometimes it is not so easily determined. There are hidden costs that we may overlook, such as mobile app subscriptions, mobile data costs, to-go coffees, and more. These minor costs can sometimes add up to crazy amounts if left unchecked. By keeping track of your income and expenses, you will automatically be able to minimize your costs and effectively save your money for bigger and better rewards. Not only will you have more savings to enjoy later on, but you will be able to spend that money guilt-free. By getting the help of a financial advisor, you will be able to effectively manage your wealth and potentially create more, ultimately leading you to paying off your debt and increasing your assets. The future you desire starts today. It starts by taking that step to be more responsible for your finances, your health, and your relationships. Take action now. Continue watching our videos so that you can begin the journey and unlock infinite wealth and success in your life today.